Okay, so this is the third video in the series on the Laplace transform, and in this video I'm going to have a look at deriving the Laplace transform of the function t to the power of n. Now in order to do this we need two things. We need the formula for the Laplace transform anyway, so that's going to be the integral from 0 to infinity. I'm going to put the function first, which is t to the power of n, which is multiplied by e to the power of minus st dt. So I put the function first. It doesn't really matter, but in this case I'm going to end up doing integration by parts, so I need the algebra first and then the exponential function second. The reason I'm doing that is because when using the integration by parts equation we need to use the in-late rule, so the algebra will come first and then the exponential function will come second. So we also need the formula for integration by parts, and that's just simply the integral of u dv is equal to uv minus the integral of v du. And in this case we're going to be integrating from 0 to infinity. So let's start anyway. We're going to integrate this here and we need to integrate it by parts. So the first thing I'm going to do is let u equal to this here. So we're going to let u equal to t to the power of n. So that means du dt is just equal to n times t to the power of n minus 1, or just du is equal to n t to the power of n minus 1 times dt. So if u is equal to t to the power of n, then dv is equal to this part here, e to the power of minus st. So if we integrate both sides here, integrate the left and right hand side, if we integrate the left hand side we'll get v, integrate the right hand side we will get minus 1 over s e to the power of minus st. Now I went through why this is the case in the previous video if you want to have a look at that. So we have everything we need here in order to do integration by parts. Okay, so let's do this integration then. So we're going to do this by parts using this formula here. So let's put in the uv and v du. So first thing we're going to do is multiply u by v. So the integral then, the integral from 0 to infinity of t to the power of n e to the power minus st dt is equal to u times v. So u is t to the power of n. Multiply that by v, which is minus 1 over s e to the power minus st, minus 1 over s e to the power minus st. And remember we're integrating from 0 to infinity. Now you've got to subtract the integral again from 0 to infinity of v times du. Well, v is this thing here, so that's minus 1 over s e to the power minus st, and then du we can see here is n t to the power of n minus 1 dt. So that's everything substituted into our formula. I'm just going to simplify this then and see where we go from there. So the first thing we're going to do is have a look at this thing here. So let's see what happens when we put in these limits. So the first thing I'm going to do is just have a look at what happens when I put in infinity here, if you like. Really what that means is we have to find the limit of this expression here as t goes to infinity. So what's going to dominate this expression here is this part of the expression here. So if we have a look at this here, we've got an e to the power of minus st. So e to the power of minus st is just equal to 1 over e to the power of st. Now if we, if you like, find the limit of this fraction here as t goes to infinity, this fraction here will tend towards 0. So what happens is this entire thing here just becomes 0 when we find the limit of it as t tends towards infinity. So what we end up with here, if you like, is 0 minus. Now we've got to put in 0 in here instead of t. So you can see here immediately if we put in 0 here, we'll get 0 multiplied by this, which will give us 0. So we just end up with 0 minus 0, if you like. So this whole thing here will just become 0. Okay, let's look at this expression here then, this integral here. So first thing I'm going to do is just take out any constants. Now you can see here we've got a minus here and we've got a minus here. So if I take that outside the integral, we are going to end up with minus minus, which is plus. Also, we've got a 1 over s here, which is a constant because we're integrating with respect to t. We've also got an n here, which is a constant. So I can take out n over s. So I'm just left with the integral from 0 to infinity of e to the power minus st times t to the power of n minus 1 dt. Okay, so what we wanted to find out was the Laplace transform of t to the power of n, and we found that it's equal to n over s times the integral from 0 to infinity of e to the power minus st times t to the power of n minus 1 dt. So let's have a look at our solution here. If we just look at this part of our solution here, you can probably see that this is the formula for the Laplace transform with the function that we are inputting as t to the power of n minus 1. So this is really just equal to the Laplace transform of the function t to the power of n minus 1. So let's just write that out. This is n over s times the Laplace transform of t to the power of n minus 1. And this is all just the Laplace transform of t to the power of n. So when we work out through integration by parts of the function, the Laplace transform of the function t to the power of n, we get n over s times the Laplace transform of t to the power of 1 less than n minus 1. So if I was to continue on with this, what I would get is n over s times, then I would have to do the Laplace transform of t to the power of n minus 1. And what I would get is, following the same pattern as this here, I found t to the power of the Laplace transform of t to the power of n. So the n ends up here, the s is down here. So what I would get is, if I were to do this, I would get n minus 1 over s times the Laplace transform of 1 less than this power again, so it's t to the power of n minus 2. And then if I was to continue on this pattern, I would get n over s times n minus 1 over s times n minus 2, this one here, over s times the Laplace transform of t to the power of n minus 3. And so on, and so on, and so on. So I won't actually work this out. You can try it yourselves, but you will end up with this here. And if you work this one out, you'll end up with this here, and so on. Okay, so let's see if we can abbreviate this into the algebraic expression that we found in video 1. So we have here the Laplace transform of t to the power of n, and we found that it was equal to this thing here so far anyway. Now if you look at this here, on the top line here we've got these three multiplied, and on the bottom the denominator is these three multiplied here. So if you look at this, let's say for example that n was equal to 3. Here we would have 3 times 2 times 1, or 3 times 3 minus 1, which is 2, times 3 minus 2, which is 1, which is really just 3 factorial. So really on the top line, our numerator will just be n factorial. And then because we have 3 of these, if n was equal to 3, for example, that would be s to the power of 3. So in other words, we would end up with s to the power of n here. Now, if you were to look at this here, then we have, let's say, for example, again, that n was equal to 3. So we'd have 3 times 3 minus 1, which is 2, and then times 3 minus 2, which is 1. So that's our 3 factorial, 3 times 2 times 1. But this number here is always 1 less than this number here, or 1 greater than it if you take the minus into account, but the absolute value is 1 less than this number here. So if we were to take our example n is equal to 3, what we would end up here with is 3 minus 3, which is 0. So in other words, we would end up with t to the power of 0 here, which is just 1. And that will be the case for any value of n. This number will, this absolute value will always be 1 less than this number here. So in here we would end up with t to the power of 0, which is 1, which means we're going to end up with this thing here multiplied by the Laplace transform of 1. So we know from the previous video that the Laplace transform of 1 is just 1 over s. So here we just have 1 over s. So finally we get the Laplace transform of t to the power of n is n factorial times 1, which is n factorial. And then as our denominator, we have, add the powers, we just get s to the power of n plus 1. And this would have to be for s greater than 0, because we don't want to end up with 0 as our denominator. So that's really it. That's our formula. That's our Laplace transform for t to the power of n. That's our second derivation.